Hey there and welcome back to Valley por Vida. Now the moment you've been waiting for, we've got an exclusive interview with a semi-pro wrestler from the Valley. Now out of the ring, he's known as Anthony Cano, but in the ring, he's known as Richard Reason, and you better watch out because he's ready to put up a fight. All for our entertainment. Here's today's What's Up RGV.
Good morning, everyone. Richard Reason here, and I can't wait to tell you about professional wrestling coming back to the Rio Grande Valley. Lately, as you all know, it's been in a state of flux, a dark ages, if you will. But not to fear, Richard Reason, the leader of Logic, is here to bring the renaissance of professional wrestling back to the Rio Grande Valley, back into the hearts and minds. Of everyone here in the Valley and what you're looking to expect, I mean, anything from hard-hitting action to high-flying lucha libre, family-friendly entertainment. And what you're gonna see is Richard Reason winning championships. This is a revival, this is a renaissance, and we're looking very much forward to it here at Texas Wrestling League and all over the Valley. Well, the energy is just tremendous. You know, you go out there and you thrive off the adrenaline. You don't feel the pain because you hear the roar of the crowd, and you see the thing was when you feel it, it transcends, and the energy goes through you and allows you to do things that you wouldn't have imagined you can do before.
Richard Reason, is super pumped about how the wrestling scene is growing, and we can't wait to cheer him on from the stands in each and every match. Be sure to follow him on Instagram at Richard Reason for the latest on his upcoming shows for the year. See, there are so many activities to attend with your family here in the Valley, and each city is brewing up new and exciting adventures every single year. The city of Brownsville, for example, is pumped at recent growth and community projects to offer residents, especially with SpaceX in town. And our team dropped by to speak with their representatives for an inside look at all that we can expect in the coming months.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me. My name is Noel Bernal, City Manager, City of Brownsville, Texas. Part of what makes Brownsville unique, some of the things that are known, some of the things that are not so known, is that we're one of the most historical cities in Texas. We're second to San Antonio. I think that's largely unknown. If you visit Brownsville, it's pretty evident to see once you get to catch the footprint of our downtown facilities, our downtown buildings, our history, our museums, things like that. Also, what people don't really know is that we are a multimodal city. That gives us what I would consider a competitive advantage in multiple ways. So in Brownsville, we can boast from having water, access to water, rail, highway, air, and now space. One of the ways that we're capitalizing on that is we're working on a mobility plan, and we're going to, for the first time, have a study that analyzes how to capture and leverage those 5 modes of transportation. We'll be one of the first cities in Texas, the only city in the Rio Grande Valley that can boast of a 5-mode of transportation mobility plan. So some of the activity that's been going on, it's the Port of Brownsville, right? That's one of the modes. The Port of Brownsville has been seeing tremendous activity, tremendous growth. They've landed contracts for building major ships. They've been doing They've been tearing down ships for the Department of Defense. There is some activity in the liquefied natural gas industry that's still ongoing in terms of having discussions with them. But also, we do have SpaceX that is outside the city of Brownsville, but it's creating a market for us that we're capitalizing on. We call that the New Space Brownsville strategy. It is about building on SpaceX's presence, leveraging our airport, that's a brand new terminal that has developable land, building an ecosystem around it where we can support the markets that SpaceX can support that are related to the new space economy, What the new space economy represents is a transition of space investment outside of the government space into the private sector. Brownsville is well positioned to take advantage of that. Some of the things that we've done is we've applied for a spaceport license so that our airport can have what are called horizontal launches, and that complements what SpaceX does, which is vertical launches. We have a company that's moving to Brownsville that has perfected an investment platform that will allow retail investors or investors that are everyday people who might buy a mutual fund, well, they'll be able to invest in space companies, and that part of that company's back office operations will be in Brownsville. We also have a company called Space Channel. So they're moving from Los Angeles, California, and they'll be broadcasting to the world, to a major audience, all the space activity that's happening here in Brownsville. So you're seeing some momentum from what the city is doing to create the environment, and also what the private sector is doing to take advantage of what Brownsville can offer for the space industry. So Brownsville already has, we can boast of over 100 miles of hiking and biking trails. That is best represented through what's called the Cara Cara Trail System.
BrownsvilleTexas.gov is where you can find all the information that you may be curious about when it comes to these exciting and innovative projects. So feel free to head on over for all that info and more. And by head on over there, I meant virtually, but by all means, drive on over there too. And speaking of driving, we actually had the chance to speak with a professional auto agent about leases. We're talking how you can save money, how you can get in a lease, how you can get out of one, and everything you need to know in between in today's Tips and Tricks segment.
Good morning. My name's Scott Hull. I'm from swapalease.com. We're headquartered in Cincinnati, Ohio, and I help run and manage a lease transfer website where people come to get in and out of automotive leases. We've been at this now for a couple of decades, and we've been able to help out many consumers on both sides of the equation, helping them save money, get out of their leases, and helping them find great deals for leases to take over. Leasing's been very popular over the last several years when it comes to automotive financing, and I want to be very clear that don't let leasing scare you off by any means. All leasing is at the end of the day is an alternative form of financing a vehicle, and can be a great tool for consumers, a great way for them to save money. Occasionally people find themselves stuck in leases, and when they do, and if they need or want out, Swap a Lease is a great answer to help them do so. It can be very expensive to get out of a lease through more traditional measures. For instance, if you need to buy out that lease, typically it can be very expensive for the consumer, and that's why transferring a lease can be such a great option for them. Not only does it save money for the person that wants to get out, but can be a great deal for the person that wants to get in. Here recently, with used car prices up, we are seeing some different dynamics in the marketplace, which is very interesting, something we haven't seen before. And we do have a lot of experience at this because we've been at this for a couple of decades. And it's very interesting recently, with car prices up, consumers have more options than ever to get out of those leases. Basically what we're seeing with car prices being up, which, it's been kind of a double whammy, if you will, for consumers over the last year, 18 months, somewhere in that range. Of course, the first problem all stemmed from COVID and lack of production on vehicles. And what we're seeing presently is problems in the supply chain with microchips and what have you, and that's really slowing down production of automobiles. And what basically ends up happening, it's a domino effect at the end of the day. As less new cars are produced, the demand, of course, has remained fairly constant.
It's always helpful to have some insider info on stuff like car contracts and leases. So we hope that you're able to keep these tips and tricks in mind when you venture out into your next car search journey. All right, well, with that in mind, that's all we've got for now. Thanks again so much for joining us today, and be sure to tune in again next time. We'll have a lot more in store for you. But for now, don't forget to follow our team on social media for exclusive behind-the-scenes sneak peeks at what we're filming for the show, and of course, for your chance at your comment or even your question to be featured on air. And you can always visit valleycentral.com to rewatch some of today's favorite segments. We've got all that and so much more next time on Valley por Vida. We'll see you then.